Hey guys, what is up? My name is Austin, and this is the iPhone 5S, and we are now currently on the iPhone 6S. So after 2 years, how has the iPhone 5S stood up? I'm going to start things off with performance, since that's usually where things take a pretty sharp drop off over time. The iPhone 5S is equipped with the 64-bit Apple A7 dual-core CPU, and the PowerVR G6430 quad-core GPU, as well as 1GB of system memory. I cannot get this phone to hang up when I'm doing anything really. It's super fast and iOS 9 on it flies. 1GB of system memory might not seem like much at all, but iOS is really well optimized to the point where I can have as many apps open as I want and things still keep moving smoothly. The only disappointing internal in this phone is the battery. It's a 1560 mAh battery with no wireless or quick charging, and it just cannot make it through a full day without charging, and I'm definitely not the only one. Since the battery is so small though, I remedy this by juicing it up a little bit throughout my day, and it charges basically as fast as a normal quick charge compatible phone in my use, so that's always nice to see. Up front we have a 4-inch Retina IPS display that boasts an 1136 by 640 resolution, and while that does seem low, it still maintains Apple's definition of a Retina display with 326 pixels every inch, and I gotta agree with them on that because the quality of the display on the iPhone 5S is really good. The colors are nicely saturated and everything's very sharp and vivid, plus the display can reach extreme levels of dimness and brightness. I was really skeptical about switching to a phone with a 4-inch display, but the size isn't as bad as it sounds. Also up front, Apple put a fingerprint scanner in their home button dubbed Touch ID, and it's not a gimmick. Obviously in 2016 you probably knew this. Despite being Apple's first attempt, it works really well and gets better over time. It's quick and doesn't misread my print very often. I did have some times where it would just randomly decide not to, but a quick restart of the phone fixed this every time. It's just a nice thing to be able to pull your phone out of your pocket and unlock it this fast, and on top of that it can be used in third-party apps like LastPass. Around back we have an 8-megapixel iSight camera, and whether you're shooting 8-megapixel stills, 1080p 30 frames per second video, or even 720p 120 frames per second slow motion video, everything comes out vivid and clear with nice colors. This camera doesn't even have optical image stabilization, but in both videos and low light, everything stays decent, and the image processing on this phone is super fast and super quick, so you can take burst photos for days. Oh yeah, and that 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera gets the job done considerably well. Another thing that the iPhone 5S does considerably well is the build quality. It's a nice and sleek 7.5mm thick all aluminum body with chamfered edges, and it feels super premium. It can be a bit slippery at times, but not as bad as newer iPhones. The lock button is still on the top of the phone, but since it's such a compact size, it really doesn't bother me, and I really appreciated how tactile all of the buttons were, and that little mute switch on the side can come in really handy. Just some last minute things about this phone: the reversible lightning connector on the bottom is super neat and handy. The speaker grills on the bottom aren't exactly both speakers. One of them is a somewhat tinny and quiet sounding speaker, while the other one is just a microphone, and it's actually a surprising microphone in fact. And this phone has pretty good connectivity. It has dual band 802.11a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.0, as well as lots of 4G and LTE bands, so you should be good there. In a world where smartphone technology is constantly advancing, the iPhone 5S stood up to the test of time way better than I thought it would. And thanks to Apple constantly giving it iOS updates, even after 2 whole years of existence, I can still highly recommend the iPhone 5S. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.